Have you ever looked at your life and wondered if you're simply not meant to succeed? Have you watched other people rise while you remain stuck in the same place, fighting the same battles, carrying the same disappointments? There comes a moment when the weight of failure feels heavier than the dream itself. The voice inside your head whispers that maybe it's time to quit. Maybe this isn't your path. Maybe you're not good enough. But what if that voice is lying? What if the greatest mistake you could ever make is giving up one step before everything changes? History is filled with people who failed repeatedly before anyone knew their names. The difference wasn't extraordinary talent. It wasn't luck. It wasn't perfect timing. It was their refusal to surrender. They kept showing up when no one believed in them. They kept moving forward when every result told them to stop. They understood a truth that most people never discover. Success belongs to those who survive long enough to reach it. Every challenge you're facing today is shaping someone stronger than you were yesterday. Every rejection is teaching resilience. Every setback is building wisdom. Every obstacle is preparing you for responsibilities you couldn't handle before. Pain is not proof that you're losing. Sometimes it's proof that you're growing into the person your future requires. Your dream doesn't disappear because the journey becomes difficult. It disappears only when you decide to abandon it. Right now you have a choice. You can listen to fear, excuses, and temporary emotions, or you can choose courage. You can choose one more attempt, one more day, one more effort. Because sometimes one more effort is all it takes to completely change your life. There is a battle taking place every single day that no one else can see. It isn't happening in your workplace, your classroom, or your bank account. It is happening inside your own mind. Long before your body reaches its limit, your thoughts begin to convince you that you've had enough. They tell you that you're too tired, too old, too inexperienced, or simply not capable of achieving what you desire. They remind you of every mistake you've ever made and every time you've fallen short. If you listen to that voice long enough, you'll begin to believe that quitting is the smartest option. But here's the truth. Your mind is not always telling you the truth. It often speaks from fear rather than possibility. The moment you recognize this, everything begins to change. Instead of accepting every negative thought as a fact, challenge it. Ask yourself whether your fear is based on reality or simply on discomfort. Most of the limits people believe they have are not physical, they are mental. The brain naturally tries to protect you from uncertainty because uncertainty feels dangerous. Yet every opportunity, every breakthrough, and every dream exists on the other side of uncertainty. Growth has never lived inside a comfort zone. The strongest people are not those who never experience doubt. They are the ones who refuse to let doubt make their decisions. They understand that courage is acting despite fear, not waiting for fear to disappear. Every time you choose action instead of excuses, you weaken the grip that fear has over your life. Every challenge you face becomes evidence that you are stronger than yesterday. Train your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems. Replace "I can't" with "I'll find a way." Replace "this is impossible" with "this is difficult, but I can learn." These small changes in thinking eventually become powerful habits that shape your future. Remember, your body follows the directions your mind gives it. If you tell yourself you've already lost, you'll stop trying. But if you decide that you will keep going no matter how slow the progress, your actions will begin to match that belief. The greatest victory you'll ever achieve is not over another person, it's over the voice inside you that keeps telling you to give up. Once you learn to silence that voice with consistent action, there is very little in life that can stop you. Failure has convinced countless people that they are not good enough, when in reality it was simply trying to teach them something valuable. Too often, people experience one setback and immediately attach it to their identity. They don't say, I failed. They say, I am a failure. Those two statements are completely different. One describes an event, while the other becomes a belief. The moment you turn a temporary result into a permanent identity, you begin limiting your own future before you've even given yourself another chance. Every successful person has a collection of failures hidden behind their achievements. They made mistakes, chose the wrong direction, trusted the wrong people, lost opportunities, and faced rejection more times than most people could imagine. What separated them from everyone else was not perfection, it was their willingness to learn. They understood that failure is feedback. It reveals weaknesses, exposes blind spots, and forces you to improve in ways success never could. If everything always worked perfectly, there would be no reason to grow. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can this experience teach me? That simple shift changes your entire mindset. Suddenly, failure is no longer your enemy. It becomes your coach. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every rejection becomes a redirection. And every disappointment becomes preparation for something greater. The pain may not disappear immediately, but it begins to have purpose. Don't allow one bad day to convince you that your future is ruined. A failed business doesn't mean you'll never succeed. A rejected application doesn't mean you'll never find the right opportunity. A missed goal doesn't mean you're incapable of achieving greatness. It simply means your current strategy needs adjustment. Success is built by people who are willing to adapt instead of surrender. The strongest mindset you can develop is the ability to separate your worth from your results. Your value as a person does not increase when you win, and it does not decrease when you lose. Results change, circumstances change, skills improve, experience grows. What matters most is your decision to keep learning and moving forward. Every time you refuse to let failure define you, you become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the opportunities that lie ahead. One day you'll look back and realize that the moments you thought were defeating, you were actually shaping the person capable of achieving everything you once believed was impossible. One of the biggest reasons people never achieve their dreams is because they spend too much time waiting for the perfect moment. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more confidence, more money, more knowledge, and more time. But perfection is an illusion that keeps people standing still while life moves forward. The truth is that progress has never required perfect conditions. It only requires a willingness to begin. Every small action you take today is building the future you'll live tomorrow. A single workout won't transform your body, but hundreds of workouts will. Reading a few pages won't make you an expert overnight, but consistent learning will completely change your life over time. Great success is rarely the result of one extraordinary effort. It is the reward for ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's journey. Focus on becoming a little better than you were yesterday. Even if your steps are small, they still move you forward. Momentum is created through action, not intention. The more consistently you show up, the more confidence you build, because confidence grows from keeping promises to yourself. Keep moving, keep improving, and trust that every effort matters. One day you'll realize that the small choices you made every day became the foundation of the life you once only dreamed about. The people, habits, and environment surrounding you have a greater influence on your future than you may realize. If you spend every day around negativity, constant complaints, and people who have stopped believing in themselves, it becomes much harder to stay motivated. Energy is contagious. So are attitudes, beliefs, and expectations. If everyone around you expects failure, you'll constantly have to fight against that mindset. That's why protecting your environment is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth, challenge your thinking, and inspire you to become better. If you can't find those people nearby, learn from books, educational videos, podcasts, and stories of individuals who refuse to give up despite impossible circumstances. Fill your mind with ideas that strengthen your determination instead of weakening it. Your daily habits are also part of your environment. The way you begin your morning, how you spend your free time, and what you repeatedly focus on shape the person you're becoming. Success is not built by occasional bursts of motivation, but by consistent routines that move you forward. Create an environment where discipline becomes easier than distraction. When your surroundings support your goals instead of pulling you away from them, staying committed becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural way of living. Most people only notice success when it becomes visible. They see the promotion, the thriving business, the medal, the standing ovation, or the celebration, and they assume it happened quickly. What they rarely see are the months and years of quiet persistence that made those moments possible. They don't see the early mornings when no one was watching, the late nights filled with doubt, the repeated failures, or the sacrifices that never received applause. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of invisible effort. There will be seasons in your life when it feels like nothing is changing. You'll work hard, stay disciplined, and continue giving your best, yet the results may seem painfully slow. During those moments, it's easy to believe that your efforts are being wasted. But growth doesn't always happen where you can see it. Just as a tree spends years developing strong roots beneath the ground before it grows tall enough to withstand storms, your character, discipline, and resilience are developing long before success becomes visible. Patience is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. The world encourages instant results. But lasting success is rarely instant. The people who achieve extraordinary things understand that meaningful progress often happens quietly. They trust the process even when they can't measure it. They continue showing up, improving, and believing in the value of their work despite the absence of immediate rewards.
Sit down.
Don't mistake silence for failure or slow progress for no progress. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every challenge you overcome, and every disciplined choice you make is shaping your future. Even when no one notices your efforts, you are becoming stronger than you were yesterday. The habits you build today are preparing you for opportunities you haven't yet imagined. Keep planting seeds through your actions, even if you can't see the harvest yet. One day, the results will appear so suddenly that people will call you an overnight success. They won't realize that what seemed like one lucky moment was actually the result of years of persistence, consistency, and unwavering belief. Your breakthrough is often much closer than it feels, but you'll only reach it if you have the courage to keep going when the progress is still invisible. Life has a way of testing every person who dares to dream. It doesn't simply ask whether you want success, it asks how badly you want it. There will be days when your energy is low, when opportunities disappear, when people doubt you, and when the results you're hoping for seem nowhere in sight. In those moments, talent alone won't keep you moving. Intelligence won't guarantee your progress. Even motivation will come and go. What truly separates those who eventually succeed from those who give up is the simple decision to keep going regardless of how difficult the journey becomes. A person who refuses to quit becomes incredibly difficult to defeat because every setback makes them wiser instead of weaker. They don't waste time blaming circumstances or waiting for perfect conditions. They adapt, They learn and they continue taking the next step. Each obstacle becomes another lesson. Every disappointment becomes another reason to grow stronger. They understand that resilience is like a muscle. The more it's challenged, the more powerful it becomes. You don't need to win every battle to win the war. You only need to keep standing after each fall. Every time life knocks you down and you choose to rise again, you build a level of confidence that cannot be bought or borrowed. That confidence comes from experience. It comes from proving to yourself that no matter what happens, you will not stop fighting for the life you want. One day, people may look at your achievements and assume everything came naturally. They will admire the success, but never fully understand the countless moments when quitting seemed easier than continuing. They won't see the fear you overcame, the sacrifices you made, or the determination that carried you through your darkest days. But you will know the truth. You'll know that your greatest strength was never extraordinary talent or perfect timing. It was your refusal to surrender. As long as you keep moving forward, learning from every challenge and believing that your next step matters, there is no failure powerful enough to define your future, and no obstacle strong enough to stop the person who has made the unshakable decision to never give up. The truth is, life will never promise you an easy path. There will always be obstacles, moments of doubt, unexpected failures, and days when giving up seems like the only option. But remember this, every challenge you overcome is shaping a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle become the end of their story. Your future is not determined by how many times you've fallen. It is determined by how many times you choose to rise. Every small step you take today, every lesson you learn from failure, every disciplined action, and every decision to keep moving forward is bringing you closer to the life you've been fighting for. Success doesn't belong to the fastest, the smartest, or the luckiest. It belongs to those who keep going when everyone else has stopped. So make yourself a promise today. No matter how difficult the road becomes, you will not allow temporary pain to steal your permanent purpose. You will keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in what's possible. One day, you'll look back and realize that the hardest chapters of your life weren't there to break you, they were there to build the strength that made your success inevitable. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. Keep believing, keep fighting, and above all, never give up. Your greatest breakthrough may be just one more step away.